Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer, is someone who appeared to fit in. He seemed to be an accomplished photographer, college student, photojournalist. At the same time, pretty much out of control. He was a lust killer, and he particularly liked children. Although many of his victims were actually adult females, he seemed to gravitate toward taking pictures of naked children. His first known victim was an assault of an 8-year-old that he nearly killed. He was raping her. He nearly killed her, but someone called police and they interrupted it. He would pose as someone else, usually use a pseudonym like John Berger or John Berg, trying to lure people to go someplace with him, usually out into the woods. He was pretty sexually inadequate, and he tortured victims, he strangled them, he sometimes posed them in bizarre ways and left them, on the side of the road or in their apartments. Sometimes he would pick up hitchhikers, sometimes he would break into someone's home. So he had a range of MOs, a range of victim types, always female, and different parts of the country. A couple of victims were in New York, one appears to have been in Montana, a number of them were in California. But even while he's in the middle of all this stuff, having served a few short prison sentences for assault, and he still goes on the dating game as a contestant. Charms the young woman who's asking the questions from among 3 bachelors to see which one she would go on a date with. Ends up being the guy she picks, but when he actually meets her, she was creeped out enough to not go on the date. Probably good for her, because he would have found out where she lives, etc. And then finally got caught, and even so worked the legal system to the point where he had several convictions that were overturned. He represented himself in bizarre ways, and finally was convicted